Hello, hello, welcome everybody. Hello, hope you are doing well in this Sunday afternoon here in Portugal. Welcome again. I hope you are doing well, you are fine here and now in the present moment. Let's take just a few moments for all of you to arrive before we begin this live event here on Inside Timer. Katerina, hello. Okay, it's the first time that I am doing a live event in English, so I hope my English can be okay to you, and that's in that side, okay. So let's begin. So this live event is about yoga. The title is Yoga Beyond the Mat, living the 8 limbs of yoga. Just before we start this live event, I again welcome everybody, each one of you in that side in this moment. So many of us live or comprehend the yoga as a practice, one activity that happens one time at a week, 2 times at a week, one day after day, a daily practice. But yoga was not made to stay on the mat. Yoga is a way of living, in today, here on this live event, we are talking about yoga not only as a practice, but as a way of living. This live event is based on a method or a system created by Patanjali, an ancient sage who systemized yoga as a method or divided by 8 limbs or branches. So, having this in mind, I have a question for each one of us. Am I practicing yoga or am I living yoga? Having this in mind, so let's explore about these 8 limbs of yoga. Each limb, it's not a simple step, but is a limb or integrated method to, on an holistic way, integrate each one of the limbs. So each one of us live our daily life usually with our attention turned outwards. Yoga is a science or a method that helps each one of us turn the attention inward in order to be able to see things that are in this moment happening in each body right now. But if our attention is constantly going outwards to the outer world, it's difficult to see what is happening inside this body, this machine. So, as a car, for example, a car has 4 wheels, and sometimes we are living our lives with one wheel turned one side, another wheel turned another side, another wheel blocked, and another wheel it's overheating. So, like I said, as a car, one wheel, another wheel, another wheel, another wheel. And sometimes these four wheels are not aligned. So it seems like the steering wheel is heavy, is heavy, is difficult to have control in the route that we are going through. It's hard to achieve goals. It's sometimes hard to have clarity on the path in front of us. So yoga is a method or a system designed by Patanjali, organized in 8 limbs that help each one of us align the steering wheel by each one of the wheels. One wheel, it's the body, physical body. Another wheel, it's our thinking, our thoughts. Another wheel, it's our emotions. And another wheel, it's our energy. Even if we can conceive or believe in energy, okay, let's consider energy as the breath. If the next breath in me, in you, fails to happen, this body, as we know, falls. So sometimes we live into automatic mode and not even paying attention on about how we are breathing. And the breathing, it's the most important part so that we can have a experience through this body. So yoga is a system or a method that helps each one of us live each day with more alignment, in tune with ourselves, our inner being. In order to work on ourselves, we must work first in our attention, turn our attention inward so that we can see what is happening right now. If I ask you to see what is the color of my t-shirt, maybe you, each one of you, through your telephone, your smartphone, your PC, look through the colors that your PC is receiving through this object. Okay, it's giving light to the camera, and you integrate the light that you are seeing, and your memory tells, okay, Jorge Miguel, your t-shirt is black. You use your eyes to see. But if I ask you, please notice, please see the temperature on your mouth right now, in this moment. See, notice the temperature. Is it cold? Is heat? Very heat? Or is just warm? We can see, we can perceive the temperature of our mouth by our attention that is turned inward. Another way, for example, please notice, please see how is your back at this moment. And sometimes when we are on automatic mode, our backs are a little not too straight. So when our attention goes inward, we can work on the patterns, automatic patterns, and put another way of being with our body, with our will that is your body. And for all of this work, it's needed our attention. So the first limb of Patanjali is, as many of you certainly know already, is called yamas. And yamas is about the way we relate with the outer world, with the others. Yamas, we can say, is about how we see and how we relate to not only the clothes that we have near our skin at this moment, not only with the pen that I am grabbing with my hand, not only with the cup of tea that I hold, not only with the PC or the camera, not only with the building where I'm in, not only with the neighbor, not only with our father, with our mother, with our husband, with our wife, with the tree outside, with the cat, with the star, with the universe beyond. So, yamas is the way how I see and how I perceive the others in me, how I relate to the external. That is the first limb of yoga. So, having this in mind, I ask you to bring to your mind some interaction that you may have during this day with somebody. Please close your eyes and bring to mind one simple interaction that you had during this day with someone. And please see if you were at that moment aware or in the reacting mode during that interaction. Notice if you were present or in automatic mode. Yoga happens each moment in all that we relate to. So that is the first limb of yoga, yamas. The second limb of yoga is called niyamas. Niyamas is the way I relate to myself. Because the way I relate to myself is the source how I relate to others, to the external world. Rumi has written a verse who, to change the landscape, to change the outer, please change how you feel. If the outer world, the external, sometimes we can do nothing about, but we certainly can do something about how I perceive the outer world. So sometimes when we work in ourselves, we change how we perceive things around us. Okay, that things cease to have the same impact on us as they have been doing, because we first work in ourselves. Niyamas has to do with rituals that we all have or not in our daily life. And a ritual is, for example, brushing our teeth or having a shower. That is an habit or a ritual. We all have rituals, but most of us only have rituals to take care one will of that we are. We must, the invitation of yoga is to have some habits, some rituals on our daily life in order to work in our inner environment, practicing niyamas. So, first limb, yamas, how I relate to the outside, to the others. Second limb, niyamas, how I relate with myself. Self-discipline, for example, study, devotion. It's niyamas. So, the second limb is niyamas. The third limb of Patanjali, it's called asanas. It may be asanas is the the limb that usually we all know about and make a bridge between yoga and asana. Yoga means, as you know, union. Asana, it's a limb of yoga that deals not only about the posture of our body, but how are we aware of the body. The physical body is just a machine. It's the box. It's the car. It's the door. It's the roof. Okay? So, asana is the way we deal with the discomfort. When we were 1 year old, for example, how many times we had to fall in order to, here and now, today, we can stand. And this posture for us in this moment is natural, right? But when we were 1 year old, maybe it was not that comfortable how it is right now. Because we learn to fall, and each fall we stand up again. And right now it's comfortable for us to be stand on our feet. So if our body is a structure that holds inside another bodies, not only organs, blood, okay, but emotions, feelings, thoughts. When we make movements with our body, we are making geometry, and our nervous system is literally moving right now as we move our body. For example, we can become or feeling calm being seated on a chair or on our feet, but maybe doing the inverse pose, Shirshasana, as we say in yoga, head on the ground, feet upward. Maybe that posture for each one of us makes we feel uncomfortable or fear to fall. But sometimes on our daily life, we are doing Shirshasana. Not that our body is doing it, but our emotions are doing it. How our thoughts are reacting or responding to the outer world. Sometimes an event happens, boom, and have an impact on us. And seems like sometimes the feet is turned away from our, the ground is pushed away from our feet, and seems like we lost the ground. It's like dissolving of a structure. The safety zone or the safety disappears. A traumatic event, emotional event, for example. So, during the limb of asana, each individual learns to become present in each asana and learns how to find comfort despite of the discomfort. Is about being present with our body. Is about accepting the body as it is right now, but from that step, work with the body in order that the body becomes more flexible, not only our physical body, but also our system, nervous system. So asana, it's the third limb of yoga. We did an exercise for the first limb, thinking about the interaction that we may have during this day with someone. An exercise we can do right now for the second limb, for the niyamas is simply closing our eyes, make a deep breath, and find how at peace each one of us is right now with ourselves. Not judging, simply being present. How at peace. Okay, another deep breath. A simple exercise in order that we can perceive our inner world, how it is right now. No judgment. Okay? Another simple exercise to the third limb is simply become aware of our posture right now. And if you are seated at this time, okay, simply find out if you can make a simple adjustment of your spine. Belly backwards, open your chest, release your shoulders, straight your neck a little. But because during the day, as we are driving a car, as we are sitting on a sofa, as we are sitting on a chair eating a meal, sometimes our body, physical body, is a mess. And as a building, as the walls are, okay, if the walls of a building are a mess, how can be the furniture inside the building? How supposed to be the people inside the building? If the infrastructure is not steady, firm, how about the circuits, electric circuits inside the walls and the water tubes inside the walls, the gas? So, as the body are, it has an impact on our heart, on our liver, on our gut, on our system. So, bringing attention to our body, to our body, is very important. That was the third limb, the asana. The fourth limb of yoga is called pranayama. Pranayama, and each one of us right now is doing pranayama. Thank God. Check if you are breathing right now. Please check. Your attention is going inward, and you realize that energy is happening, a communication is happening. Inhale, exhale, receive, give constantly from the first breath that you take until now. Pranayama is about conscious breathing. How you breathe has an impact on your system. He who controls the breathing can control the inner environment. Sometimes when we are stressed, our breathing in the automatic mode is very rapid, unstable, and sometimes it's cut. But at that moment, if we breathe deeply, we can see with more clarity another way of respond to things. So pranayama is the fourth limb of yoga. Pranayama, for example, and simple exercise that I invite you to do right now is simply close your eyes, open your chest, release your shoulders, and notice your breath. Notice the movement of your t-shirt and the temperature of the air through the nostrils. Okay, open your eyes. The pranayama, it's happening right now. The pranayama. The fifth limb of yoga, it's called pratyahara. And pratyahara means bring the attention inward. So, another time I'm doing this. We all are here at this moment. This dot represents this moment. Each one of us choose to be here now. Each one of us could be in another place, doing another things, but each one of us choose to be here, listening to yoga beyond the mat. We are here, and we are here moment to moment. Every moment we are here, the body is here, but our attention tends to be constantly pushed away outward to what to do next, what is waiting for me next this event. Another person in the building that is called or is waiting for me. Our attention tends to be unstable, going outward. So pratyahara is an invitation to bring our attention instead outward, inward. Bring the attention inward. It is said yoga is the journey of the self to the self through the self. Yoga is the journey of the self. Each one of us is the self to the self through the self. Bringing the attention inward. For example, I invite you to close your eyes and make a deep breath. Simple let go of all the stimulus around you and notice the temperature of your mouth right now. Notice how your spine is from the coccyx of the crown to the crown. Open your chest, release your shoulders. Notice the movement of the t-shirt that you are wearing, that you wear. Notice that you don't need to react or respond to the outer things. You can simply witness them. Make a deep breath. Open your eyes. And that is pratyahara, the ability to bring the attention inward. Okay? Since our attention is inward, we can work in our inner environment. So that leads us to the next limb, pratyahara, dharana. And dharana is simply focus of the attention in one aspect. Since our attention is inward, dharana is an invitation to focus the attention in something. So, closing your eyes, deep breath, detaching just for a second of the outer world. Notice the sense I perceiving, and focus the attention to your nose, for example. This moment, focus on the nose. And notice the temperature of the air that goes in and out. Your attention is now focused on the nose. Just noticing the breathing happening for itself. Deep breath, opening your eyes. That is the fifth limb of yoga. Six. The seventh limb, it's called dhyana. And dhyana means meditation. Meditation is opening our attention or our mind. It's a process of becoming from an individual sense to an expanded sense. Okay? Meditation happens when our mind is still at peace and with one focus. And happening that, we expand our attention. For example, let's return to that point where our eyes are closed, chest open, shoulder relaxed. Bring our attention from the outer to the inner world. Feel your back. Observe the breathing happening. Your nose or chest moving. Feel the sensations. Witness them. And gradually open your mind from that point. Expand your attention to the universe, to the present moment. Feel your mind open and opening. A deep breath. Open your eyes. Limb number 6, dhyana or meditation. Dhyana or meditation, it's like sharpening a knife or an axe. Sometimes we are in our daily lives doing tasks that involve a focus, but our mind is like a monkey mind. Something that demands attention, focus. Our mind, it's not focused. It's thinking bills, heat, climate changes, war, politics, whatever. That discussion with the wife, with the husband, whatever. So doing or practicing meditation, it's a way to stabilize our mind. And tasks that demands us, for example, 3 hours to be executed, to be done, a mind that is focused, we can do the same tasks with, for example, 20 minutes. Because there is more focus. The mind is more sharpened, is more sharp, is more steady. And finally, the last limb of yoga is called samadhi. Samadhi, it's the experience of the union with the divine. It's not a concept, it's an experience. Okay? Once that the mind is still, our energies are still, we develop a feeling of connection, turns live inside of us. And samadhi is somehow the aim of yoga. It's the final objective of yoga. And samadhi happens sometimes in each one of us right now. When, for example, we feel in tune with the life. When, for example, some happening happens and we feel that that happening comes talking to an aspect of us. It's the synchronicities that happens that feel that we are connected with something. Samadhi happens sometimes in our daily life and we don't become aware of the samadhi, the connection with something that is happening right here, right now. So, having said this, please note that we may practice yoga taking our mat beneath your our arm and okay, let's go to a yoga class. That is important, but the evolution that we really see that is happening in us practicing yoga, not only the third limb asanas but the all aspects, we can see the development in how we deal, how we relate to others. We can say yoga is like a tree. Okay? A tree. The limbs of yoga, it's like a tree. But for a tree exists and fruits can be given by the tree has to have roots. And these roots are precisely what the yamas and niyamas are. What's the point doing Shirshasana when our emotions, our thoughts are unstable, are a chaos? Yoga is the art of becoming what we are, really are. That is yoga. And living the 8 limbs of yoga can be bring to our daily life. And my invitation is each one of you each morning have a simple practice, just even 2-3 minutes, because as we wake up, it's very important that each one of us has a ritual that invites us to be present at that center point, for that the rest of the day can be lived with more awareness on how we relate to ourselves and how we respond to others. Okay? Yoga doesn't start when we are in the mat, and yoga doesn't end when we go out of the mat. Yoga is happening right now. Yoga is the way you are living your life right now. That is yoga. Thank you for being present at this live event. I hope this resonates with you somehow. If you like this content, please feel free to explore here inside in Inside Timer more meditations about the subject. I have some meditations in English. Feel free to listen. And also, if you like to contribute somehow with my work, you can do a simple donation in the box in the comments. Okay, it's very welcome your contribution. So I wish you a very good Sunday. Hope you are well, and that this live event somehow bring you some clarity on how you are putting yoga on your daily life. Okay. Thank you very much. It was an honor for me to have your presence here, and see you. Thank you, and namaste.